Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome in. We'll give a little bit for people to come in, but basically, what I'm going to be talking about tonight, kind of going in on it, is mobile carriers and what matters most to a lot of people. Does a data connection matter, or is it perks that matter? So while I'll give like 3 minutes to see who comes in tonight. Wednesday night, yeah, I said I would probably go live Wednesday, and here we are. I would have gone live earlier, but I just have like so much going on, so I just really didn't have I didn't have it in me to do a live stream earlier, but I'm doing one now. Better late than never. And then I gotta head to bed early, get up tomorrow for another day of full funded adventure at work. But while until that happens, what up, Steve? What's going on? Welcome in. Always glad to have you here. And just in a short thing, big shout outs to JG for coming back to YouTube. And I don't know if I mean, I've been following him on his social media account, so I've seen like his travels, his adventures and stuff like that, and they were very interesting to see what he's been up to. And that long break that he took away from YouTube, but it's good to see him come back and hopefully, he gets into his rhythm of what he wants to do. I know he said he wanted to make changes to the type of content that he brings out. And I think that long gap that he did literally puts him in a great position to just kind of do something differently on YouTube than what he was doing before, where he was doing like a lot of, Metro by T-Mobile / Metro PCS coverage. And I don't know if you guys caught his live stream. If you guys didn't catch his live stream, please do so. It was very interesting to know exactly what happened to him when he did his investigative work, going into, these prepaid shops and trying to do port in specials. And then, seeing just kind of like the things that they were doing, kind of exposing a little bit of the stuff that happens with prepaid authorized dealers and such. So it was a very interesting time when he was doing that. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of went away for a while. So when he actually shed some light on it, not going too far in depth about it, but he shed some light on it, I thought it was pretty cool. I appreciate him for being transparent with a lot of us and just letting us know, like, hey, what happened? What kind of put him in that position where he just took a break for a while. There was some other stuff too, and I appreciate, he recognized me pretty quickly when I started commenting in the live stream, and then gave me a shout out. So I really appreciate that. So again, shout out to JG. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, please do so. But I'm pretty sure, some of you guys, that watch my live streams, my podcasts, my videos are already subscribed to him. So just get in the rhythm of having those notifications turned on for JG, and let's get him back up there. All right, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and kick it off. I know some people will probably jump in a little bit later on. And so here's what begs the question, right? So, like, what is entirely important to you when it comes to your mobile carrier that you select? Is it the connection with the network that matters most, or is it perks? What else do you get with your monthly subscription of getting unlimited talk, text, and either unlimited data, or if you're on prepaid and you're choosing to go with a much lower bill, so you opt in for like a fixed amount, then yeah, what matters most? This kind of came up. There was a comment that was posted on yesterday's live stream where I was just like, first of all, it wasn't anyone that triggered it. I wanted, Magic Tech Review went live. I wanted to just kind of like piggyback on, his original live stream and the stuff that he was saying. And I noticed that in his comment section, like, people were just like kind of confusing each side of Boost Mobile, whether it was going to be the expanded network, which runs on T-Mobile, or whether the transformed network, which runs on AT&T. And it's massively confusing to a lot of them about it. Even Boost customer care is confused to it. Like, they just don't understand. I know that because when dealing with them in that whole debacle with trying to move my service from my Pixel 6 to my Pixel 5. And then I was telling the lady that the only other account that I would have would be the transformed account, which would be Boost AT&T. And so she literally thought I was talking about AT&T, the provider, like I had an account with them, and thought I was stupid and was saying that AT&T has nothing to do with them, until I had to give her the whole breakdown. Like, on contraire, lady, AT&T has something to do with Boost Mobile, because Dish Wireless had that contract created between them and AT&T to utilize their network. And it is why there's an expanded network for T-Mobile and then a transformed network for AT&T access, right? So it just depends on which one you're on, is the type of access that you have. Yeah. So on that live stream, there was a comment that was left, and I understand the level of frustration. I'm not saying that the person has no right to be upset or anything like that, right? Like, how you feel about the provider and the carrier that you choose to use, that's entirely up to you, right? Like, I'm not saying that, you're wrong and I'm right or anything like that. I don't believe in that type of nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, what works for you, and that should be the only thing that matters. And so, with that being said, the person went on a nice little rant about how they're sick and tired of Boost Mobile. The 35 gigabyte throttle cap was kind of annoying for them, and there was no perks, there was no additional benefits to what they were paying per month. And so the person was like, I'm gonna jump ship over to Metro by T-Mobile, right? So if they were on the Boost Expanded, going from Boost Expanded to Metro by T-Mobile is not going to be much of a difference in network quality. But where the person benefits from is that, yes, there is a threshold still with Metro by T-Mobile, but it's not throttled, it's deprioritization. Which means that in moments of where, like, the network in your area is congested, you will be slowed down until the congestion is alleviated, or you travel outside of the congested area, right? So, like, phones kind of like triangulate between three towers, and if one or two of those three towers is has like so many lines connected to it and it's fully congested, you will be slowed down. But let's say, like, you travel like 10 blocks away and now you're connected to a totally different tower, your speeds will return. So that's what deprioritization means. Throttled is where they're like, okay, you know what, you're cut off from having high-speed data. You will be slowed down to 2G speeds for the remainder of your 30-day bill cycle. And that's where you will not connect back to faster data speeds until your bill cycle kicks and you reset for your next bill cycle month. So I totally get the level of frustrations on that, right? It is one of the things that, like, Mobile X is pretty much touting about and pretty much slams a lot of companies for. It's like they title themselves unlimited, but there is limitations to it. And even Metro by T-Mobile can be considered, limited, right? I mean, yeah, they're not soft capping you, if that makes any sense, or if anyone can, like, follow those terminologies. But they're not soft capping you, but they are, in fact, they are like deprioritization. You can kind of, like, you'll be slowed down at some point. One of the things that a lot of people are kind of confused about is a Boost Infinite, and how they will give customers the exact same speed and just literally keep it at that speed for $30 a month. That's a whole different, discussion, and we'll eventually cross that road later on down the road, not today. But I'm just saying, right? Like, there's not really a truly unlimited carrier to that extent, right? And while we can sit here and argue over terminologies about unlimited, because I've told people that the reason why that they consider it unlimited is because they don't turn you off. Like, they don't shut off your data completely. And yeah, I'm not saying that I believe in that and that, that's the right way for things to be. But what I am saying is that I'm explaining to people to understand where the carriers are coming from when they say, we do give you unlimited. This is your unlimited. When there's like a 35 gig soft cap, you're not turned off. You can still access Facebook. You can still access whatever you need to. So you're not cut off. So it is unlimited. But I think that, I think people wouldn't have such a big deal about it if the proper terminology was like 35 gigs of high speed data and unlimited 2G speeds. Then yeah, people wouldn't really complain because they know the unlimited part is the throttled slow down speeds, right? So anyhow, with all that, like Mobile X is kind of like pushing on that. Basically trying to say like, people use their phones differently. People have home Wi-Fi access. They have Wi-Fi access at work. They go to places that offer free Wi-Fi, like Starbucks and Target, any of those places, internet cafes and such. So, um, they're like, you should only pay for what you actually really use. Um, but not be disconnected or slowed down or any of that such. Mobile X, right? So carrier connections could be important to some people, right? But the person basically also stated that Boost has no perks at all whatsoever. Like no Netflix on them or any of that stuff, right? And like I understand that level right there of thinking, because like he's said person is switching to Metro by T-Mobile. Now Metro by T-Mobile, if you go with either their $50 unlimited plan, you get access to Google One 100 gig cloud storage for free per month. So if you choose the 200 gig cloud storage, then you're going to be paying I want to say 99 cents, because you have to pay the difference. If you're on the $60 unlimited Metro by T-Mobile plan, that gives you the Google One access. It also gives you Amazon Prime. So you get something there with that subscription. And then of course, you got to think about like your postpaid carriers like T-Mobile. I believe you get Netflix. I'm not sure if that's still on there. I haven't checked, but you get Netflix, I believe. I know Netflix is going to be priced, but then like, like Cricket and I think AT&T, you get HBO Max. Verizon has, I think they still have the Disney, Hulu, ESPN bundle that you get through them too. What was else was it? Yeah, I think it was that. Yeah. So there's additional perks, right? T-Mobile, you get T-Mobile Tuesday. Metro by T-Mobile customers have access to T-Mobile Tuesday, which gives discount coupons and sometimes free items just for being a customer. So a lot of perks thrown in. And that's what I want to ask people is like, does the perks absolutely matter when you choose your carrier provider? And if so, are you willing to deal with a level of frustration from carrier connection because the perks are thrown in? Because that's the other thing too that I kind of question about from people is just like, like if AT&T was absolutely crappy where you are, well, let's say they're crappy. Let's just say like they're decent. They're not crappy, but they're decent. You could go elsewhere and get better connection. But let's say like, they throw in like, like some sort of crazy perks or something like that. Would you in fact continue to stay with that carrier? That's the question. My friend, my old coworker, just I guess he liked the post that I post on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn, but that's just for like work and stuff like that. So it's not really like generally connecting with like those that follow the channel, those that are members of the channel. It has nothing to do with that. That's just strictly for work connection and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. So like, what say you guys? Those that are in here right now, there's like 9 in here right now. So I want to thank the 9 people that showed up to let's kind of like kick back and watch. But tell me what you guys think. Do perks matter? Don't be afraid. No one's gonna get flamed. Not on my live streams. You can say what you think and feel. As long as it's within the bounds of my guidelines, and my guidelines is the bullying thing does not happen here, and anything that is like sick or derogatory is not allowed on here. But other than that, if you want to say like perks absolutely matter, don't be afraid to say it, because no one here will flame me for it. If someone does, I will boot them out of here. That's how I run this. So feel free to speak your mind. Tell me what you guys think. Do perks absolutely matter to you? Or is it all connection? Or is there like a 50-50 split, 60-40 split, 70-30 split, maybe 75-25 split? You tell me. There's no wrong answer. I just want to know. Because my standpoint, to be quite honest. Oh, we got a comment here. Perks don't matter to me as long as I have decent service. Cool. Cricket, you get HBO Max and 150 gig cloud storage. Okay, thanks for letting me know that. I didn't know about the 150 gig cloud storage. That's actually pretty cool. That actually kind of like, is competitive to Google Fi and Metro by T-Mobile. Metro by T-Mobile, you get the 100 gigs of cloud storage with the Google One subscription. There are some other perks that's thrown in with the Google One subscriptions, just like 40% off hotel stays and shit like that. But that's, you can get that just by subscribing to it outside of it. Alejandro, what's going on, man? What's up? What's going on? How's it going? If you guys want to know where my standpoint is at on all this, perks is not, an entirely big part of like what I choose from a carrier. Perks do help, because, you get a little bit more bang for your buck, right? But it's not, like say a company that has its own network, we'll call it carrier. I'm not trying to make it so like people be like, oh, you're talking about this particular company. I'm not talking about any particular company, but I would say, let's call it Carrier Q, and it doesn't mean Q-Link. Okay. I just thought about it right now. I was like, Carrier Q. Okay, wait, Q-Link. Someone's gonna think Q-Link. No. Well, let's say Carrier Q, right, is not all that great in your area. Let's say you ran a speed test using Ookla to run the speed test, or even NPerf to run the speed test. And maybe, every time you run a speed test, you're probably getting like 125 megabits per second download and like 0.089 megabits per second on the upload. But they give you 500 gigs of cloud storage free. They give you HBO Max, they give you Netflix, and they give you Hulu on them, and the premium tier plans on those streaming services. And that's the thing, right? It's like, with me, the logical thing is this: when it comes to something like that, like, while those perks are golden, but what's the sense of having the perks if you don't have the capacity to even access and use those perks? That is where I look at it logically at. So perks are nice to have. What up, Latrell? What's going on, bro? Perks are nice to have, but for me, I can't base everything on just the perks itself. And the reason why is exactly that. Like, for instance, I've made suggestions. I hit Google Fi up like every month, trying to kind of like convince them in some sort of way to add YouTube Premium as a benefit of being a Fi subscriber, or give us YouTube Music, at least something on the YouTube side, right? Because you look at all the other carriers, right? Metro by T-Mobile has Amazon Prime, which means that you can access Amazon Prime Video. You got Netflix on T-Mobile. You got HBO Max on AT&T and Cricket. You got the Disney bundle on Verizon. Visible doesn't have any perks alongside it. Neither does Boost Mobile. At this point, Boost Mobile doesn't have any perks yet. We'll see what happens later on down the road. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Google Fi made a big move in increasing the threshold cap for their Unlimited Plus and their Simply Unlimited plan. So that's great, right? Simply Unlimited moved up to having a 35 gig threshold before, being soft capped to slow down after that, right? And then the Unlimited Plus has a 50 gig soft cap. When you pass 50 gigs, you'll be slowed down for the remainder of your bill cycle, right? So it was nice of them to do that instead of having the 22 gig that we had previously. But I'll also say this too, right? How cool would it be like if we had access to like YouTube Music? Give us YouTube Music at least, along with Google One 100 gig cloud subscription. Yeah, because you know what? I mean, they and not only just give us YouTube Music, but don't count the YouTube Music as data. As data, not a very good thing at this point. And it could be done, right? Boost Mobile did that. I will me just kind of send that because yeah. But yeah, I would say that, right? Like YouTube Music, like give us that, right? Don't let the data count against the data that we use per month. Boost Mobile did that. There were certain streaming services on Boost Mobile that if you used to stream music, they would not count that against your monthly data allowance. Which is why I had this theory, right? Like there's some things that Boost Mobile is just not really calculating with data usage because comparing, Boost Mobile and the data that I use on a phone with all the stuff that I do, and then comparing it to when I use Google Fi and doing the exact same things, and Google Fi will show a much greater data use in that time, the way I was using data versus Boost Mobile, right? So those are the things that I'm saying like YouTube could, well, not YouTube, but Google Fi could really utilize that. But it would be really awesome if they gave us the YouTube Premium. Now I do know through the Google Store that you got the what the heck was that thing called? I don't want to say Play Pass. Why does that come into my head? But I don't want to say that. But it's the whole Pixel subscription from the Google Store, which gave you like the Google Pixel, it gave you Google Fi subscription, it gave you YouTube Premium, it gave you like all these different services, right? A lot of they introduced that. A lot of people went for that with the Pixel 6 and getting the Pixel 6 this year. So I mean, I know they have that, but just specifically from Google Fi itself, like because Google Fi does have a subscription plan for the A series devices from Google Pixels, and it's like a 2-year subscription. You pretty much shave off like anywhere between $50 to $75 off the phone itself over a 24-month period of on-time monthly payments. You keep the phone, and then you automatically get the next A series device when it comes out. But it's a 2-year leap. Metro has free Prime and Google One. Yeah. I mentioned it earlier. And then Google Fi just has the Google One subscription, not Amazon Prime. But I'm just saying, like the perks thing. Like it's nice to have these perks thrown in there. I honestly, some people have told me they feel like that perks are like a band-aid for a company knowing that their services aren't good in specific areas. And I'm like, I disagree with that because if it's based upon like different areas, like say like Metro by T-Mobile knows like maybe in Austin, Texas, they're not all that great out there, then I would see them offering some sort of perks to customers who lived in Austin, Texas, right? Like, oh yeah, sign up with Metro by T-Mobile, get this phone for free, get the services, added on, and we'll reduce your bill by like 45% off. That would be like a perk that would be specifically used as a band-aid for what they don't do good. So yeah, I don't really think perks are like really much of a band-aid per se in that way, like, to literally just kind of like cover up for things, right? Because the general thing is, and I say this all the time, right? Like there's not one carrier that works specifically great everywhere you go. Believe it or not even Verizon is that perfect. Okay, there are places where you go and Verizon just doesn't do very well. There are places that you go, T-Mobile doesn't do very well, and same with AT&T, and the same will be said about Boost Infinity, aka Dish Wireless. That is to come. So speaking straight and directly, right? Not one carrier completely blankets the coverage all across the country the way that we think, and this is why, like, I always find like the online arguments between people, like, which prepaid carrier is better, which postpaid carrier is better, is Metro better than Boost, and all sorts of. I always found those arguments to be completely idiotic. Because if one person is arguing and they live in New York and they're saying Sprint is the greatest, and one person is living in freaking Texas and they're like Sprint sucks, the person that lives in New York who's getting the best experience from Sprint can't really identify with the person that's living in Texas is dealing with the Sprint network, vice versa. So the argument just does not make sense at all whatsoever for people to just stand around and fight with each other over, carrier networks and connections and stuff like that when they're in two different areas. Now, I can see a debate if it's two people in the same city, 5 blocks away from each other going at it. I can see it because they have to be connected to the same towers. And then we have to look at the hardware that they're using. Are they using an iPhone? Are they using a Samsung, a Google Pixel, a Motorola device? Are they using Xiaomi? Are they using Huawei? Are they using freaking Lenovo, ZTE? Are they using some sort of weird ass, Android phone that we have never heard of that was made in like, Cambodia or something? Like we don't know, right? So we got Lawrence up in the building right now. On the 28th, I will be on Magenta Max. Yee, love my T-Mobile service. Sorry if I impersonated your voice differently there, Lawrence. But it sounded you were really excited, so I just wanted to kind of emphasize the excitement. And that's great too. That's pretty cool, man. Glad that you're excited and you're happy to be moved over to the Magenta Max. So good on you. If you guys aren't following Lawrence, please follow him. Please subscribe to him. If you guys want to know why that he likes T-Mobile, and where he's at in our great country, you need to follow him, subscribe to him, and watch his speed test, so you guys will understand why he's excited about T-Mobile. Like, not everyone's going to be excited about T-Mobile, and you know what? That's totally fine. I have no qualms with T-Mobile at all. I use Metro by T-Mobile as my daily driver device. It's not device, but carrier, right? Metro is what I use, and I get good stuff out of being on Metro by T-Mobile. I don't have to worry about postpaid prices to that degree. I have the amount of lines that I have, which is 4 lines. I have 4 lines on there. I have 1 tablet line, and then I have the T-Mobile Home Internet, which works fantastic where I'm at. I'm live streaming through it right now. I know Carlos has told me, like, he said, like, oh yeah, it doesn't work great for streaming. I don't know, because my live streams are, when I watch replays of them, they come out clear. Every now and then they stutter. Yeah, I'll give it that. They do. But for the most part, they're kind of clear. And they mostly stutter when I do live streams out here in the backyard. So go figure on that. But yeah, so like, to kind of condense this out, I got another 2 minutes here. I was only going to go live for like half an hour. But to condense this down, basically, and like, and for those who are watching the replay, feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts. I appreciate it if you guys put your thoughts in the comments. So that's the thing, right? Is like, I just want to know where people's standpoint is with mobile carriers, and like, is the connection more important than the perks that you get out of it? Is it a split, right? Is it like I said, 80-20, 90-10, maybe 85-15, 75-25, like whatever it may be? There's no wrong answer. I just want to know where people's minds are when choosing a carrier. And does perks kind of like alleviate if a particular carrier doesn't function that good in your area, so in the city that you live in? Like if like T-Mobile was so bad, so crappy, but if they offer like a really badass perk, would that make you question yourself? Like, maybe I can deal with a little bit of the hiccups I get from T-Mobile for that perk. Those are the things that I'm looking for the answer to this. Leave your comments in the comments of this. I appreciate everyone that came in. And the reason why is because I am going to be talking about this again, but not full in detail, but just reviewing what you guys said in the comments. I will be reviewing that this Saturday on the podcast. So definitely get your thoughts in, so that way I have something to read. Because how lonely as hell would it be if I come up Saturday for the podcast and no one said a damn thing, and I'm just like sitting here just staring at the screen like, okay, I'd have to find something completely different to talk about. I mean, there are some stuff I want to talk about, so I'll hit you guys in on what's going on this Saturday. What's going to go down is that we're going to be talking about the Pixel tablet. I was going through some of my old videos today, and I realized that I did I think it was just a video. I did a video. I could be wrong. Could have been a live stream, maybe a short one. But I had talked about, like, our Android tablets coming back. And I was like tripping out when I saw it, because I'm like, I forgot I did this. And I had the thumbnail, which had like a mock-up of what a Pixel tablet would look like. And while the Pixel tablet doesn't look like what it does in that thumbnail, I was like, whoa, I talked about this a while back. And now it's here. Now it's here. We have a Pixel tablet coming, so I'm going to be talking about that. I'm also going to be talking more in depth about the Pixel Watch. just kind of talk about that, and also the Pixel 7. Basically, what's coming on later on this year, right? So we've been covering a little bit about the Pixel 6a. We've been covering, about my interest in the Pixel Buds Pro. Time to give the tablet, some big spotlight. So that would actually be like the main center topic for this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about the Pixel 7 and the Pixel Watch. But I also want to kind of go over everybody's responses and comments to this live stream and this question. And again, that question is mobile carriers. Is connection or perks important? Go. So, thank you guys for all those who came in. Thank you very much for coming in and hanging out. Lawrence for being here. Appreciate it. We'll give shout outs here too. Alejandro, thanks for coming in too as well. Andy, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate you for being here. Christopher, thanks for coming in too. Sneed, thanks for popping in and saying hi and waving. Shout out to JG Tech Blog. If you guys aren't subscribed to his channel, please do so. He's back from what I know. Shout out to the rest of the crew, Technoid, Gene, Carlos. Shout out to all of them. John from Magic Tech Review, shout out to him. B Tech Review, Latrell, who was also in here too. Ascentech, shout out to him too as well. So we got a pretty big community. Shout out to all of them. And then for those who are members of the channel, like I said, there are live streams that are specifically for members only happening as of lately, right? So if you're not a member, you might want to consider that. If you guys want more of an in-depth type live stream, kind of like a one-on-one with some more deep thoughts, you definitely want to go check them out. Not check them out, but definitely become a member of the channel so you guys don't miss out on that. And then also, upload content on there. And yeah. I'm trying not to say anything weird because a couple of my coworkers know about my channel, and I'm wondering if they're gonna make fun of me tomorrow at work. We'll see what happens. Y'all be cool, be safe. Thanks again for coming in. I love you guys very much. Sorry for the shaky table. Table moves, camera moves. That's what happens. But yeah, it is what it is. And as always, aloha. This thing does not cover all the way, and then it does. How cool is that? Just having it like as the black box. That's funny. That's totally funny, right? Hit a thumbs up if it's funny. It's like the black box is speaking. Thumbs up it. Alrighty. We'll see you when we see you.